My girlfriend was giving birth, and instead of being at the hospital with her, I decided to go fishing. Now, I'm trying hard to walk away, but she still sees me as her future husband. I, 29M, broke up with Maria, 27F, about 1.5 years ago. Our relationship was mostly just hanging out, and I told Maria many times that I didn't want to get really serious. Maria agreed because we had different ways of thinking, but after about 11 months, she said she wanted us to be super serious and maybe even get married. I said no, because I still thought we were too different for that kind of stuff. We stayed together a bit longer, but then Maria started talking about marriage and starting a family again. She said stuff like how her family and friends liked me and we'd be perfect together. That's when I decided to end things with Maria. I felt like we wanted different stuff, so it was best if we stopped being together. Maria was really sad about us breaking up and asked if we could still be friends, so I said okay. We've been pretty good friends for the past year and a half. Since we broke up, Maria's life has been going downhill. She hasn't had any serious boyfriends, she's had a few, but they didn't last long and weren't very nice, which has made her parents mad at her. She doesn't even talk to them anymore because of all this. Maria also had to leave graduate school and has had a hard time finding a job. She finally got one a few months ago, but she doesn't like it. Maria got pregnant by one of the guys she was with, and she was supposed to have the baby last week. Before the baby came, she called me a lot, sounding really nervous. She said she was scared about being a mom. I tried to make her feel better, visited her a bunch of times, and helped her out when I could. Maria had her baby last week, but I was out fishing with some old pals when it happened. I found out the next day from one of Maria's friends and gave her a call to congratulate her. Maria sounded tired but happy I reached out. Then, I started getting messages from Maria's friends telling me I should have been there because Maria was scared, her family didn't show up. One friend, Katie, was really mad, saying I needed to support Maria more since she felt alone and trusted me. Honestly, I believe in helping friends, but I don't think it was my job to be there. Plus, Maria had 2 other friends with her during the birth, so I'm not sure what I could have done. For those curious, the dad is in Austria, and there's a good chance he doesn't even know about the baby. Maria's friends all know he's the dad, but they just call him some jerk. While I want to stay friendly with Maria, I'm not interested in being a dad to her child. More info: I knew the baby was supposed to come last Saturday but came early on Wednesday. I left town Tuesday night and planned to be back Friday. I only found out about the birth on Thursday and called Maria to congratulate her afterward. I never promised to be there for the birth. Not your baby? Not your business. Poor Maria, but this is not your problem. Block her overbearing friends. You don't owe her anything, but you have been kind nonetheless. Update 1. Many people have been curious about my comments regarding Maria's values and beliefs not matching mine. What I meant was that Maria and I see things differently on a bunch of stuff, like religion, money, and culture. While I like Maria and had fun with her, for a big relationship like marriage and having kids, I'd prefer someone who's more like me. My family also felt Maria and I weren't right for each other in the long run, though they thought she was nice. First off, Maria and I don't see eye to eye on religion. I won't get too deep into it, but this was a big deal for us, especially since we both wanted kids someday. Second, we're in different places money-wise. Maria has a lot of debt, student loans and credit cards. I don't judge her for being in debt, but I think she could be smarter about money. I know I've got it easier financially than her, so I might not get all her money issues. But during our time together, it seemed like she spent more than she should. Lastly, we're from different backgrounds. Even though we're both Americans, we come from different worlds, which my family, especially my older sister, didn't like, and it sometimes bothered me too during our relationship. I also think Maria still has feelings for me. When we talk alone, she likes to remember our time together and calls it the best time of her life. And if I mention going on a date, I can tell it hurts her, even though she tries to act cool about it. After chatting with my older brother Brad on the phone, he thinks it's time for Maria and me to go our separate ways for good. He says our differences were already too big, and now that she has a baby, it's not realistic for us to ever work things out. Brad thinks keeping in touch only gives Maria false hope of us getting back together. He also believes Maria's friends want us to reunite. I had hoped to stay friends with Maria, but after talking with my brother and thinking about it, I realized I couldn't do that honestly. I won't cut off contact all of a sudden since Maria just had a baby, but I'll gradually lessen our communication over the next few weeks and months. However, for the next month, I'll act normal because it's a tough time for her, and she doesn't have many friends around. On Monday evening, Maria called me. We talked, and she said she wants me and some other friends to meet the baby in a few weeks when he's bigger and stronger. I agreed, and we're all going to her place in about a month to see the little one. She also showed me some pictures of the baby and talked about being nervous about raising him alone. When I asked about the dad, she said she hadn't talked to him in a while, which is frustrating. That's about it for now. I wish Maria all the best and hope she figures things out as a parent. Please, just stop talking to her. I said yes to that, and we're all planning to meet up at her house in a month to see the little guy. This isn't stopping talking. This is setting things up for her to use as a way to say the baby really likes you and misses you and wants you around. Just block her and finish it. Brad thinks that by keeping in touch, I'm giving Maria false hope that we'll get back together. I agree with Brad. You need to stop being friends with Maria so she can move on. She won't be able to if you're still around, sadly. It stinks to lose a friend. I'm sorry.